Welcome to the Pick and Pop podcast where we talk all things ENBA. Shout out Shannon Sharp for the news that's been coming out about him. No, I'm
I'm
just kidding.
going crazy.
I'm going
Um,
crazy. But yeah, we're probably not gonna talk about that. It's too controversial right now.
I thought we were a controversial channel, bro.
Hey, maybe, but I don't want to ruin my profession. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Talking about Shannon Sharp, nah, bro. Everybody's talking about him, bro.
But before we start,
So
how are you doing, my boy?
I'm doing good, my friend. Here out here talking about basketball. We're in the middle of the playoffs, obviously, in the first round. So honestly, a lot of exciting games, dude. Honestly, I'm really happy. I know there was a lot of blowouts last night. I think at least one or two. So I think both games were blowouts. I'm not too well. Well, not blowouts, but like the comeback,
Yeah,
which
two.
is
The
crazy.
Grizzlies Thunder one.
29.
He find Jaw finding the West though, so don't worry about him. But they were they were winning until Ja got injured. Then this dude, the Shea, and them came back. The Nuggets Clippers was a blowout, and there then but the Pistons New York game that one was pretty good.
It was a like 3 point game, right? Or like it ended at two
I
point.
think it was a 2 point game, yeah, or three.
Uh,
Maybe you're right. Maybe three.
I didn't get to watch it, bro. When you said about Ja, he's fighting the West. Ja's out here throwing grenades.
I
I see that
know,
Jason Tatum,
man.
but I saw a meme. I told you, right? I saw a meme where it was like, Ja was throwing the shoe, and right under the Twitter, everyone put the Jason Tatum one where it's like,
All right.
when the sh-
I think
the
even
shit is
Carl
fucking.
Anthony Towns or was it Al Horford one time they were because someone bricked and they were like,
That shit gets you every time. But yeah, man, just games have been crazy. I've been good. How have you been? Man?
good. I've been good too. Here watching the games. Working
Whenever
and in
when we can.
school, so watching the games just as much as possible. If not, I've been box score watching. That's what I do. Um,
Sweat,
but
bro.
man, yeah. Today we have planned. We're gonna build the perfect NBA player. But we can only use players that are in the playoffs now. We're gonna get into that a
Yes.
little bit later, but before we do, we're just gonna recap some of the games, some of the series that have been
Mhm,
going on.
mhm.
So I guess since the Magic and Celtics are playing right now as we speak,
Oh,
um, what do you think about that matchup so far? Boston leads 2-0.
so damn, it's an interesting series. I just think Boston is too good, man. Like, I mean, I think everybody knows, but Boston have been good for a while. Obviously, I would go back to even arguing back in 2022, 21 when they made the first finals. I think was it 22? Well, versus the Warriors.
22, yeah.
I still feel like back then, they were already, obviously clearly they were contending for a finals for a chip. Was Steph Curry happened. Game 4. Steph Curry with the purple shoes, that crazy ass performance. I
Oh, I
think
forgot
it was
about that.
game 4. Yeah, that was in Boston, bro. Iconic game, bro. Then after that, game 6 was it,
Game
where he was
six,
like,
he was like, oh yeah.
yeah. I was like,
Dude, I
in
was
the
thinking
third
if they
quarter,
lose, I was like, this is gonna look
dude.
bad, bro.
But look how much aura he gained, bro.
Sometimes you have to risk it for the biscuit, man.
Bro, if we go back on, we need to make a video of like we'll talk about who has the most aura in history because man, like Steph might be up there, bro. People count on him, but Steph might have one of the
Because
top
that
10
was the
auras of
same
all
year,
time.
right? That he invented
I think
the
it
sleep.
was. I think it was, and then that
I think it
later
was
in
like,
the maybe early, and like when he does it, it's called when someone like Draymond's
yeah, because Dream was like, man, stop
Steph's
farming
like,
on on Steph. People are gonna think we're Draymond haters because we're always clowning on him.
hey, we love Draymond, bro. We love people from the Bay. We love Draymond. Draymond the go, bro. Hey, I have a picture of Draymond. Hey, could you put it up right now?
You have
It's
one
me and
with you?
Draymond. Yeah, you don't haven't seen it?
No, you don't. You
No,
missed.
I don't.
Oh, I was
I
like,
wish
what?
the fuck.
I was like, put
No,
it up right
basketball.
now. I was like, you. I don't even know you have that picture, bro.
No, I wish. I don't think I ever met anyone famous. Hey, maybe in the future if we get
But your
famous
dad
enough.
met Scottie Pippen though. He didn't even know who
Oh,
he was.
boys. So okay. So quick story time. We'll go back to this. Sorry. We'll enter that. So my dad met Scottie Pippen, right? As you guys may have not noticed or may not know, I am Mexican. Clearly, looking at you guys. So I'm pretty short. Kind of. Nah, not really. Let's just say I wouldn't make it to the NBA.
He's
Maybe I
average
would
height.
barely make it. I'm average height.
I'm the short one,
Um.
but we're not gonna talk about that.
Anyways, we don't talk about that. But what we'll say is this. So my dad is a small guy too. He's really small. He's like 5'4", 5'5", and he saw this guy in the golf course where he used to work at back in the day, and he was like, "Who's that? Who's that guy who's like six something?" He was probably how long? Six? Scotty
Like
was
six
6'10",
seven,
no?
6'8".
6'7", 6'7", 6'8". My dad was like, "This guy's freaking huge." Hey yo, I told him,
Pause.
"Hey yo, pause." I told my dad, "Pause, continue." So then, anyways, so he was with a friend, and the friend was like, "Oh my god, that's Scotty Pippen. That's Scotty Pippen." And my dad's like, "Scotty who?" He's like, "Scotty Pippen. Pippen. We gotta go take a picture with him. Come on, please, please, Jose, please." So my dad went with him. He's like, "I don't know who this guy is." My dad took a picture with this guy, and he's so tall, Scotty, that they had to back up so much to get him in frame. They didn't even get they got my dad's fucking torso and up, basically. I need to go check the picture again. I'm not gonna lie, because you didn't even get Scotty's legs, bro. Like half of his legs were cut. I was like, holy moly. But maybe I know it's a lot of editing for Val, but maybe you guys can see it on our Instagram page maybe later, or maybe we'll put it down below the
I mean, yeah.
picture.
If you want me to, if you don't, your dad doesn't mind. But
I don't think he
let me,
minds.
explain some aura about his dad in this picture, because
Oh shit,
he's
here
not
we go.
doing it justice. So usually when you meet someone, the person that's meeting is like the person that's meeting is like, or they're just smiling, and then the celebrity. Do
The
you see that?
celebrity is just like
And the celebrity just like, or he's like, but this was opposite, man. Like, uh, Josie's dad, he was like, and
and
Scottie Pippen
Scotty
was
Pippen.
like, so it looked like Scottie Pippen was meeting Josie's dad, which is crazy.
Hey, my dad might become famous out here. We might run one on ones versus him. Might be a fun video idea for the future. We'll see, man. We'll see, man. We'll see, man. I'm very excited for that. But back to the thing. Sorry, guys. I want to tell you guys a little bit about that. My dad is a celebrity. Celtics Magic. I think this series. I mean, looking right at the score, Magic are up two, ending the first quarter. But if I'm being honest, I think Boston takes this in 4 games. I think before I said earlier, but so far it's been a good series. If what you're asking me is just like how it's been a good series, but
Yeah, the
not
Magic
as
have
good as the
been a lot more
others.
competitive than I thought they would have been. They even
Yeah,
have
they
been really
definitely.
close in the first couple quarters. Even the first game, I think they were up at one point.
hmm hmm I mean, yeah, and they have heart. I think that's what matters. And it's their first playoff in a while, right? Maybe a couple years, 4 years, 5 years, or longer.
Magic, no, they made it last year.
Oh, they made it last year. Really? Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't know that. Well, even saying that, well, hopefully they'll learn more playoff experience of this, and
yeah, because
clearly,
they're so
their
young.
organization, yeah, and hopefully their organization will believe in these guys that are already here in the playoffs right now. I mean, they had a goodish season. It's not like they were crap. So hopefully they'll get better pieces. Maybe give it to Mac McClung. Mac McClung come off the sideline. Hopefully start dunking. I don't know if he plays there or used to. I know he played for their G League team.
Oh, yeah, I think he plays for their G League.
Okay, okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that's what I think of that series. It's interesting, but I think Boston are gonna kind of go through it. But
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, same here. Like, I'm not gonna waste too much time on it because you basically said everything. The Magic have been a lot closer than most people expected, but like regardless, they're still down 2-0. I think it's gonna be a sweep. But the one that's a little bit, I think, now moving onto a series that's a little bit more surprising, the Pacers versus Bucks. The Pacers are up 2-0, and I know Damian
hmm
Lillard didn't play the first game, but he played the second one, and they still lost. Tyrese Halliburton over here, he's been carrying, man. The whole team has been playing good. They actually had I don't know if you heard about this. There was an anonymous report that they sent
Yes, I did hear about this.
to the NBA players, and
Crazy.
they voted him to be the most underrated, or no, the most overrated player in the league, which is insane, huh?
And the coach was saying how ridiculous that was. He was saying because Giannis and Jimmy were on it, right? As well, they were on the underrated list.
Oh, the overrated? Yeah,
I think so, right?
I
As
don't know.
well.
I'm not sure if they were top something.
I do know. I did hear though that Jimmy was there with Giannis, and then the coach was saying that it's clearly really like this is a stupid list. Like, what the heck? Why does it exist? And clearly, I mean, look at Tyrese, man. He's proving these haters wrong, and they're beating the Bucks, man, 2-0. So
And they
going
play
into game
today. They
three. I
can
think
go up
they
3-0
play out.
today, man.
Yeah. Do they play at home? No, right?
Today
Today,
it's
the
at
Pacers.
the Bucks.
Oh, okay. So it's an away game for them.
But you know what they say? A series doesn't start until the home team loses. So the Bucks can still get it. And the Bucks can come back home and win their 2 games at home. It's still a series.
Yeah. He's done it. Giannis has done it before. He's been in this show. You know what he said in the last interview? I don't know if you saw, but he was like, I know what I got to do. That's all he said. He said, I know
Cold,
what I got
cold.
to do. And he stood up and left.
They were down 2-0 versus the Suns in the finals in 2021 when they won.
What were they saying out there, bro? They were saying like they're done, huh?
Yeah. Chris
Bro,
Paul was
that,
like, I'm
that,
addicted to this shit. Everyone was thinking like that the Suns were about to win. Chris Paul got addicted to the finals, he said, and he never has gone back. So props to him for not relapsing. But man, that the Bucks winning that year was crazy because everyone was thinking the Suns had it wraps.
that dunk, man, that iconic dunk where Giannis when the and one.
That was nice. That was cool.
Man, that series is crazy. But it's gonna be an interesting series. I think the Bucks might be able to turn it around, to be honest. But because they've done it before, not with this team. This team's very different. But you got the likes of Dame, you got the likes of Giannis, and you just got some players in there that I don't know about Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma has not
He
been
had a zero
playing.
zero 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 game.
That's pretty crazy, bro. That that's pretty insane. This is like he's I don't know. This is insane, bro. It's just freaking crazy. 0-0-0 is insane. So they brought you here to do something, and it's like that kind of game. And was it in game one? Is that actually true?
Yeah, yeah. Game 2, I don't even remember how he played in
Probably didn't
game
even play.
2. Might as well, huh? Might as well not even
He's
have
just
played.
taking up a spot, bro. He's taking a G League spot. That's all he's doing right now. G Leaguer spot in the playoffs. But man, well, I want to talk. Maybe go to the next game. I know, Pacers Bucks has been one of the more exciting ones, but one that personally, I've been really enjoy watching. I think you know what I'm trying to say. Lakers versus the Timberwolves. The coaching JJ Redick is doing one is amazing. I don't know if you know, but the way he's been able to switch plays and like set up his players is insane. I don't know that well with technical terms, but I could show you like if I colored it and stuff, right? But I've been seeing videos and clips of them like just JJ Redick's basketball IQ. Like I'm not gonna lie, you guys might think I'm glazing JJ. Low key kind of am because I freaking love him and when he did in his podcast. But that series to me is very coaching and technical, and the players popping off. This is a good series in my opinion. So I don't know what you think. What have you thought of the series
Yeah,
so far?
I agree. The coaching has been good. Like, so the first game, the Lakers were playing like Luca ball, and
Mm-hmm.
basically that's like give it to Luca. He's gonna ISO. He's gonna take Rudy Gobert out in the island. He's gonna do his thing. But the thing is, yeah,
Hey
Luca
yo,
can score 70 points, like we know, but if that's all you're getting and all your other players are not getting involved, then you're gonna lose. But JJ made that adjustment in the second game, and he was like, you know what, Luca, you're still gonna be the focal point of the offense, but now you're gonna be used as a decoy. You're gonna go in, you're gonna throw it out to the man in the corner. You're gonna,
yes,
uh, have your teammates actually help you around here. So, I think that's why you never overreact. In the first game is 1-1 right now. I picked Lakers in 6. I'm still sticking to that. I think Lakers get it in 6. After what uh Anthony Edwards did to Luca, he was like, I think Luca that lit a
you're like,
fire under him. Yeah, Luca was like,
look at him.
so I think Luca's gonna give that boy 70 points one of these games.
Nah, that's a crazy prediction. That's a crazy prediction, my friend. Honestly, man, it's gonna be good, man. Like you said, very coach heavy playoff series. Adjustments are going to be needed. I think a lot of the time, especially in the first round, what I've noticed is that a lot of the time it's like, the teams are, it's all about matchups at the end of the day, right? But I think they have to figure out who they're playing in this series. So obviously they're playing Timberwolves. They played very different style than let's say even Milwaukee, right? It's like they have to, you always have to adjust. And I think that's how you know the better team wins. You get to the final, it's always just some of the best coaching on that side, the best coaching on this side, just the best overall players, or just the best team. The best teams are able to adjust to different series. I think that's what ownership is starting to realize, that we don't need just star play. We need a little bit of everything in our players as well, a balance overall. Because man, like it is very series heavy. Like if you face a series that loves their big men, like and you don't have many, you might be kind
Yeah,
of cooked. And they're
yeah.
like on rebounding. And this may be Warriors, maybe kind of Warriors esque, but I just wanted to put my 2 cents in there about
No,
this
that's
round
true,
one.
man. Like nowadays, you need to be well balanced everywhere, and I feel like that's the future of the game. We're gonna have everyone in the league in the future is gonna be there's gonna be anomalies, obviously, but I feel like everyone's gonna be 6'7", can rebound, can shoot, can play make, which is gonna be insane. But this is where it's headed. This is why, like now we look at the 90s, we look at the 80s, the 70s, the 60s, and we're like, man, we have evolved so much. How much better
Mhm.
can we get? And I feel like we could
Mhm.
get even better. Like in the 2050s, they're gonna look back, maybe 2060s, they're gonna look back at us and be like, man, there were these like 5'11" guys in the league. These guys that could only shoot in the league, like those guys were plumbers. And because then there's only gonna be people that can do everything. I feel like there's gonna be
Mhm.
like Kevin Durant's everywhere, man. We're back now. Shout out to Josie for letting me know that the Zoom was about to end. I think Discord looks better quality, anyways. The only thing is that we lag a little bit on here, but hopefully we're good. Um,
Over time, we'll get used to it, and I think it's getting better. I think right now it's pretty good.
Yeah,
No,
we can. It's like more like timely.
it's right away.
Okay, good,
Um,
good, good.
but man, we're back, so we're gonna move on to the next series. We gave our 2 cents on Memphis versus Lakers. Lakers and five. Lakers and five. So we'll see what we have next. They play today at 6:30. So for us, our time Pacific. So
All right.
we'll see, man. That's in an hour. That's an exciting game to watch, low key. I might watch that one later.
Yeah, that was exciting. But yeah, like you said, I guess let's move on to the next series. We talked about two in the East, so let's just move on to another one in the West. Um, let's save that one for last. Right now, you know what? Let's get Memphis versus OKC out of the way, man. 3-0. The series is over. We basically knew that from the beginning. Oh wait, have we talked about Jaw fight in the West? Oh, we
Okay,
talked about
see,
it in the beginning, but
we talked about it, but we haven't really elaborated on that.
right. Yeah, Jaw finding the West. You know, he'll be back next year. Nah, but in all fairness, man, I know he got hurt, so I hope that he recovers. You know that he's healthy. But yeah, there's nothing they could do about it. They're just the OKC is just superior in every part of
OKC,
the
man.
game.
I mean, we've known they were a good team. I think from the beginning, man. I mean, they have the best record, not just in the West, but in the whole league, and just they have the who's going to be MVP. You know, the guy who arguably will win MVP. There's been a couple surprises actually already of some awards. I mean, Peyton Pritchard, we saw, but we'll talk about that a little later. But you know, OKC, man, they're just too strong, man. The team is too good, and we've known this. I think we even to last year and 2 years ago, they were already getting better. And then Chet comes back, and Chet is a huge addition to this team. Even without him, they're winning. Man, look what they're doing with him. So, and remember, I was saying about matchups. I think OKC are geared up for almost any matchup. I don't wouldn't say they are for everything, but I feel like they're really well balanced team. They can do a little bit of shooting. They can go, hit do post work kinda. They can they can just switch. Does Hartenstein play for the OKC right now or no?
Yeah,
Am I tripping?
he does.
They got a guy like Hartenstein who can be on the post or get those rebounds. You got Chet. You can play two big men, three wing. Just have such a good team, man. Like even when Shea's not playing, they're good, man. And I think the series might be over. I have a feeling like I don't think you should get overconfident because it is the playoffs, but as long as all the players are playing for Thunder, because I was thinking they could even try to rest Shea, but now that I think about it, that's something. Nah, they shouldn't do that. They
No,
probably get
no, no,
cooked. Imagine they just
resting
rest
a
Shea for the
player
whole
in the
series.
playoffs would be crazy. That would they Adam Silver would find them $1 million, bro.
Imagine like I was wondering, so could that happen? Well, that's our 2 cents on that. Okay, I think OKC are gonna take it, but would is that? Can you get fined for, let's say, you just give up on a series? Is that a thing? Like, let's
Oh
say we're
yeah,
down 3-0.
100%. Because the whole season
You
you're
can do
playing
that.
for the playoffs, man. And imagine that
Mhm.
man, Adam Silver would be so mad. Imagine like you giving up on a series. Like, this is what you've been working for.
Dude, it's imagine like it's like imagine if like what's a good one? Like the Warriors go down 3-0 and then they just rest Steph, Jimmy, Draymond. They just rest everyone. They just put all the role players, just or all their role players. Well, I mean all their bench players for the rest of the series.
Man,
Yeah, at least for just to lose that last game, game 4, they'll lose it.
Kerr would get fired, bro.
Kerr would get fired. I think Stephen Curry. That is what? Stephen Curry. Steph Curry would leave. I think Steph. I think he'd leave. I think he would leave. He'd be like, you know what? Disrespectful to me, to the Bay. I'm taking me and the Bay with me. I'm like, there.
He would.
Low key
Half the
though,
fan base would follow him.
we need to have a discussion about what, not just NBA fans, I think all over the world, but how fans see sports nowadays. Because old heads, they claim, at least we don't know, but old heads claim that they this is my team, I love this team, and we had these type of players, right? But looking at what we're seeing now, we're seeing a lot of player empowerment, a lot of like movements to like have players have more power in this NBA league, and not just in the NBA, I think all over the world. Coming from my soccer background, especially in the soccer world, a lot of these players are starting to get more power. And when there's more power to the players, it feels like now, fans are gravitated towards those players. You know what I'm saying? Like if that player leaves, do they just hate that team now and move on? And this is kind of going back to that Luka thing. Luka was supposed to get a statue in Dallas. No doubt. He was gonna get a statue. You've seen that. We saw that man crying, right? So my question to you guys to you, Bao, is just like, how do you feel about that? Do you feel like, is it just like fans just love players and leaving franchises, and is that a good thing or bad thing in your opinion? That's what I want to ask.
I mean, you're right. That's how it is now. A lot of people are fans of players now, or more than they are fans of teams. But I feel like it's not necessarily a bad thing because you know how the teams are always like, for example, it's like a business. Like for example, yeah, you brought up Luka. If I'm a Dallas Mavericks fan and these dudes trade Luka, the hell, I'm not staying.
You got
Because
AD
you
to
just disrespected my fandom. I've been waiting for
defense
this dude to be
championships.
drafted. He gets drafted. Get out of here with that, bro. And then all of a sudden, you trade our franchise corner piece that's only 26 years old. Nah, I'm leaving with
About
him.
to his prime.
I'll
I'm
be a
leaving with him.
fan.
And hey,
It's like a relationship with a girl, man. But you both have to try. I'm there. I'll be there through the thick and thin. But if you're gonna just go out there and make stupid decisions, I'm breaking up with you, my team. Like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, I'm gonna go
hey,
follow my boy Steph.
I I love that. That's fire, bro. I actually love that. And you know what? That's fair. That's both fair. Because you know what? Why would you want to go watch the team that just made a stupid choice, right?
Right, and I'm gonna
And
keep
hey,
funding you? Heck nah.
but to be fair with Nico Harrison, I know it's not about Nico, but like he's a great example. What if next season they do have Kyrie, they have AD, they have Clay, they have decent players. What if next year they end up getting a chip? What if they get 2 within the next 5?
They're
Will
not, bro.
this trade be justified? They're not. But if they got 2 championships within the next 10 years, do you think it would have been? You think that people are gonna look back and be like, that trade was worth it, or still no?
Maybe
2 chips.
yes. The thing is though that the reason he claims he did this is for the future, or like to win
He is the
now and
future.
the future. But even though AD is like 34 already, 32 maybe, 34.
I think 34,
and he's
32. I
injured
think 32 last time I saw.
all the
And
time.
he's injured. And I'm sorry, but I'm starting to agree with Val. Me and Val had a discussion of like injury prone players. Are they actually injury prone? Is that actually, or is that just bad luck? And honestly, guys, I think it's both. But I think it is because they're injury prone, because the amount of times AD stepped on that field, on that court, and he's always walking out injured. I'm just like, damn. And this goes back to the soccer world with Neymar Jr., one of the best soccer players of all time, the prince who never became the king because of his injuries, because he couldn't get it done in the final. Like, this is an example of like these guys' careers are getting derailed because of injury, and maybe it's because of the maintenance of the games they play, or maybe it's because these kids are starting younger, playing more games than they
Yeah,
used to. I don't know how many games MJ played by the time he was 18, but like a player like Victor and stuff like that, these guys are
way
playing
more.
so many games, and
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 and the
that in the long run, if you
AAU and
don't take care of
everything.
yourself, mhm, and they're playing intense minutes. It's not like they're just playing like us, just like that to play. They're playing intense ass minutes, and I think that's a big thing going forward. That I think I think starting too young can be a little too detrimental to your development when you go pro and you make it to your peak. I feel like it
Because it
can
hurts
be,
your
or like
body
for your longevity
for
at
your long.
least.
Yeah, but you know what else? Another thing that I want to bring up
Ooh,
regarding
but
that,
LeBron though.
low key, like pampering the players when you grow up
Mhm,
and you're the star player on your team. Because look,
mhm,
me and Josie have this conversation before. So me and Josie, like we play sports, but we were always like the underdog types, or like we weren't like the stars or
mhm.
whatever. So me and
Dirty work,
him,
baby. That's how we
even
get
if
it done.
dirty
Hard.
work players, even if we're playing in street basketball, we're the type of dudes who will dive on concrete for the ball, right?
Mhm,
And we're the type of guys who like we'll get pushed down, but we get right back up. We like I never seen Josie on the ground for more than 2 seconds. The dude gets right back up. And same thing with Josie with me. I feel like he can attest. Never seen him on the ground
100%.
for more than 2 seconds. But we know people who have been on teams since they were really young, and you know this, and
Uh-huh.
like they'll fall on the ground and like they'll be there for like they'll like twist their ankle a little bit, and I don't want to like put out like you twisted your ankle is your fault, nah, but it's just a little ankle twist, bro. Like it's not gonna hurt you, but they stay on the floor for like
Mhm,
15 minutes and then they won't play anymore. And it's their body, go take care of it,
mhm,
but do what you wish. But what I'm saying is maybe this translates a little bit too to the players. I know they can't control their injuries, but maybe all this pampering that they get, like it affects them a little bit. Them like
mhm.
looking too
Yeah,
much
and
into it, into getting hurt.
and I don't think you are. I think a lot of psychological things like, I think the mind is so freaking strong and people underrate how important it is to be mentally like, being motivated in anything you do is going to get you so much farther than someone who doesn't care. I think at the end of the day, like maybe this, you're right. It's a little bit of mix of both the loads, the maintenance load, but also like you said, like yeah, like these guys are just not have that. It's cringe to say it, they don't have that dog in them, man. That passion. That like I'm coming from the slums, and giving it an example, Brazil have not been in amazing form. It's been 15 years. I think it's been a long time since they won anything. Long time. Mexico won, and I mean, even though Mexico only plays down here in Copa America, but I mean, CONCACAF here, the Gold Cup and stuff like that. But Brazil hasn't won something in a long time since maybe Ronaldinho back in 2004, 2006. Back then in wherever I think they played in Germany that year, 2002 with Ronaldinho in South Korea, I believe, and Japan. But what I'm trying to say is this, right? What people have been saying in the soccer world is that these players that they used to get were from the slums, man. They were from literally the poorest area in Brazil. These kids had they nothing, they had no food, no money. They were just like coming from the slums. And you know how much heart they put on those fields? Because having that Brazilian badge on the chest means more than just playing for the national team. It means they're also representing their town, their city, from where they come from, all over the world. So what I'm trying to say is like maybe some of these players are just coming from different places where they don't have that. And I'm not saying you need hardship to be successful. That's not what I'm saying. What I
Right,
am
but it's
saying is
easier
like
to
to have
attempt than
that.
hardship.
Yeah,
Cause
yeah.
there's some
That's
people
true.
who are like, they do come from money and stuff, and they still have that heart. It's still possible,
Yeah, that's
but
true.
you do see a lot more in people who do come from like the slums or from what do they call it in the Bronx in Brazil?
the they call it
On
the
the
boroughs,
the
the
favelas.
favelas.
So yeah, so I mean, I think you're right in that aspect too, like because those players they it means something when they see that badge right there. They're not always just getting the team handed to them since they're little. They have to work for that, and then when they finally get discovered, they're like, I'm not letting this go, man. Like I'm good now. I'm not letting it go. So if I get hurt, if I'm down and I get hurt, guess what? I'm getting back up because this means a lot to me. Rather than a player that gets
Yes, and
everything handed to them and they get hurt and they're like, well, you know what? The team will still be here when I get back. So then they can afford to get hurt.
yeah, and that also gets people to like you. I feel like a lot of the time, obviously not everyone's gonna like you, but I feel like a lot of people like that underdog and like that kind of story, right? So like, which is crazy, I think everybody loves that story. I don't know why it's used all over movie, all over media, right? The underdog story, this or that. And if you're that type of story, I think it helps you in the long run going forward with the fans and having that connection. And like you said, that's how why fans leave because they feel so connected with you. That's why they when someone like Luca, they happen coming from where is Slovenia?
Yeah.
Slovenia, playing for Madrid in Spain, with the basketball team. That's why people love this guy, man. And I mean, he's a humble guy too. I mean,
Yeah, he
of what I've seen,
cried
I
during
don't
the
know Luca.
tribute, man. You know how much
I
it must have
cannot
hurt
believe
the fans? He cried during the tribute. They're like, man, he would have stayed here his whole career.
that man. I'm telling you right now. You know what he said in an interview? I don't know if you saw. I think I told
With
Valentine. I don't
Malik
know if you guys
Andrews?
saw, but maybe it was the one with Malik. Yeah, I think so. With Malik Andrews, he was saying how his like she asked him. So Luca, wait, I'm gonna be like Malik Andrews. So Luca, what makes you, how do you feel being back in Dallas? And Luca's like, it was like, yeah, you're very happy, that I get to sleep on my own bed. That's crazy, bro. He still has his home in Dallas. He hasn't sold it. He has his stuff there. He's probably in LA. And people don't think about this, but players sometimes when they get traded or they're barely moving, like Schroeder, right? Schroeder got traded to the Bay and then he left a couple months later. These players are coming with families and whatever, and all these families, their wives, they're sleeping in like apartments. I understand they're rich. I get it. You have money, whatever. But even if you have money, you still have to travel to this new area. You're probably sleeping on some weird place that you're not used to. You don't really feel like it's your home. So like for me, I have a lot of respect for the NBA too because these guys are traveling so much, and to put those type of performance away from home is actually pretty impressive when we don't think about it. Especially having to travel all the time, flying. Sometimes you don't get enough sleep. So we got to
Yeah,
give these guys
no.
a lot of props. I
Joe
know they're making
Rogan,
millions of dollars, but
right? Even though they're making millions of dollars, Joe Rogan once said, I saw a clip of him saying that when he was 27, he finally got an apartment and it had like the view, it had a pool table in the living room, he had like a girlfriend, he had those speakers, and it was cool. But after a few months, that when he every time he got home, he got the feeling of, oh, I'm home, and that he realized that it was the exact same feeling that he got when he used to go to his apartment that only had a bed and a TV. Like, it's not the materialistic stuff. Like, even home is home because that's where you live. It doesn't necessarily have to do with how much money you have. So I agree with you. Like, being apart from there can be crazy, and then putting up these performances is insane.
yeah, man, we got to give more respect to these NBA players. But back to our topic. I honestly don't remember our overarching topic. We
Me either, but I guess we can move on to Clippers Nuggets. This is probably the best series, or was until last night when the Nuggets
I was
lost by
like, what?
quite a bit. But it had the first two games were crazy. I think you went Clippers in 7, right?
I
Man,
think
I
I said it was
really
going to be a back
wish
and forth series,
I
and
would have gone with Clippers, man.
if I mean the Clippers woke up, I think Game 3 they really said, you know what? Let's show them how it's done, and they were at home. They're comfortable in the Intuit Dome, right? If I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
I think that's what it's called. They're back home. They were like, "Fuck, F it, let's do this shit." Let's get this dub, and they got the dub. Man, I mean, I got some of the stats right here if you guys want to hear. Um, we got Michael Porter Jr. having a stinky performance. Michael doesn't pass the ball. Porter Jr. 35
Michael,
minutes,
I only
6
have
rebounds,
X on
one
my
assist, 7
control,
points.
Porter Jr. But sorry, I cut you. But go ahead.
Nikola Jokic was pissed, boys. 13, 13, and 23. Can't be mad,
This is
bro.
why
He
you
was doing
don't
a little bit of
fire.
everything.
Pull the camera on me. This is why you don't fire your coach a week before the playoffs start. Man, that's insane.
It's insane, bro. This type of blowout win with the head coach, Michael Malone. Or am I getting the wrong guy? But Michael Malone, I don't think it would have happened. I think it would have been closer. Maybe they would have lost still, but not like this. This gives the Clippers so much confidence going into the Game 4. This is their back, they're home, so they feel comfortable. And don't get me wrong, they now the Denver kind of got to take a win from here. Going back home, going back home 3-1 down is not the best. It's tricky. You got to win that game. Obviously, it's a must-win game. After that, everything's a must-win after that. So you can argue that this game is their must win, so they don't get in a
100%.
fat pickle.
100%.
So away game tomorrow, a couple days, not tomorrow, probably on Sunday, maybe not Monday. Maybe.
Tomorrow at 3.
Nuggets tomorrow
Yeah.
at 3. Wow, they're ramping up the games. I thought they were spreading them out. They're starting to become faster and
I
faster.
know.
Jesus. Oh, but this okay, because it makes sense because they're already
Oh,
there.
they played
So then
yesterday.
there's no travel time. There's
Oh,
zero
yes.
travel time. All right. Because the both teams are there. They were just waiting. Then why are the Rockets and the Warriors so long? It's like 3 nights. Because they're like a high level game,
They
like
played on Wednesday. Oh yeah, they played on
Wednesday
Wednesday. Yeah, you're right.
till Saturday.
Damn, I don't know
Well,
why.
tomorrow. Oh, well, the Warriors play tomorrow. Same things. Similar thing. No, wait. Yeah. What the heck? No. Yeah. Huh. Well, interesting. Who knows why? Adam Silver not cooking with the schedule for some of these teams. But man, we'll see, man. I think it's gonna be an interesting series. I think it's gonna go all the way to still Game 7. I said Clippers.
I think you said Clippers.
7.
I said Nuggets. Man, I should have gone Clippers, but it is what it is. It could
I'm
still
gonna
happen for
keep
me.
it at Clippers, baby. It
Man,
can still happen, man. It's
like I said, I was
it can
rooting
still
for the
happen.
Clippers. I'm rooting for the Clippers, even though I did. I'm not gonna shy away from my pick. I did pick the Nuggets, but I was rooting for the Clippers because I want to see Harden win one. I want to see Kawhi win another one with his third team. That would be historical.
Historic, man.
And also one more thing
Up there with LeBron, man.
up there.
Three trips, 3 different
Oh,
trips. Go
3
ahead.
teams. Yeah. Um. So
He was like,
yeah, I thought you were saying like greatness. I was like, I don't think so, bro.
go ahead.
But yeah,
Kawhi,
man,
top 3. Sorry, go ahead.
the I want to get back to the topic that we were talking about, the injuries. Just one last thing about it, because I don't want to feel like I'm saying the wrong thing. Of course, injuries you don't pick to have them; they just happen. All I was saying is that sometimes like your grit can get you through. But now that I said that, just wanted to say that real quick. Let's get back to the other games. Knicks versus Pistons. Is that our last one? Oh no, then we still have Cavaliers Heat.
Cavs and Heat. I think Knicks Pistons. Excuse me, guys. I think Knicks Pistons is interesting. I think it's a little bit. I haven't seen all the games, to be honest. And actually, let me go check those games out right now. I'm not gonna lie, if I remember correctly. Okay, there we go. I got them all up. Wow, they've been pretty close, to be fair. I mean, Knicks did take that. The Pistons did take that. New York do lead 2-1. It was a close game. Very close
All
game.
three of
2-point
them
game.
have been close, man.
All 3 have been close. People, I think there's a sleeper. You know how there's always a sleeper,
Series.
round theory series. Thank you. I think this is it, and I think I said the Knicks are taking it, but we will see, man. We will see. We'll see. What do you think?
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see about this one, man. Cade, like I don't know if you remember first episode or was it? I think it was the first episode of the podcast. You mentioned that the playoffs is where a player cements himself to the casual fans. And
to the casuals, man.
And you're right. This is where people are gonna know Cade Cunningham. Our friends, like they're gonna mention to us now, oh, that dude Cade Cunningham is good because of the playoffs. Because that's
Yeah, and just so you know, our fans are a little bit more casual. They don't really watch that much. Some of them know a little bit more than others, but
yeah, nothing wrong.
I
with
talked
it.
about
Like
Cade a couple
me
days
and
ago.
Josie are quite a bit
Nothing wrong
casuals
with that.
too, but they're even more casual than us. You know?
Which is kind of some crazy to say. But you know what? You're right. Cade's making his name for himself. I'm so happy for him. Whatever happens, I think whatever happens to the Pistons, man, they're proving that they got something beautiful going on down there in Detroit, and maybe it attracts some players to Detroit. Maybe you never know.
Yeah.
Trey, talking to you.
Man, I don't think he's leaving. I think he's one of those like Luka that isn't leaving.
Nah. He's not leaving because he's gonna get traded by their GM without knowing.
That's
tell you right
true.
now.
Oof, that's true. That might happen.
Get ready for. Trey's supposed to have a statue. Trey's supposed to have a statue. Get ready for that shit because that shit's gonna happen. Be fucking crazy. You know they were gonna sue, right? It's a little tidbit. Apparently that guy who's like, Luka's supposed to have a statue. He went to the court to sue Dallas Mavericks organization that they're doing this for profit. What was it? You didn't hear about that?
Saw his 15 minutes of fame and was like, I'm taking that shit.
Bro, you gotta respect that shit, bro. Dude, that's such a good quote now. He's supposed to have a statue. You know how cold that bar is? Oh, Klay too. He's supposed to have a statue. Clay's getting a statue, bro. Klay Thompson.
Nonetheless, yeah.
outside the Chase Center, bro. Clay just being like this, that game that he had a bunch of points, the prettiest jumper Steph's ever seen.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Be
He's gonna
amazing.
have one.
But oh, we're gonna see. Anyways, speaking of that, we'll talk about Warriors later. Next series, 2 more series,
Oh
three
yeah,
more
two
series. We have
more.
2 more series.
He.
Cavs Heat.
Yeah. But
I
I'll
want to
start with
start
that
out by
one.
saying, okay,
I'll start
go
with that
ahead.
one. Okay, Josie, I'll give you some respect. The Heat have been putting up more of a war than I thought.
A fight.
More of a fight than I thought. You know, obviously they're still down 2-0, but they have been close. The Tyler Hero has been putting in some work. So man, yeah, props to you because I still think
I
it's a
was about to
crazy
say,
take, but at least it's a
it's
close
close.
series, like a game to game
Mira,
basis at least.
it is. I will say, like, they've been popping off. I will say the first game wasn't the best. Second one was better, closer. And then game three, we'll see. Game three is tomorrow, which is or no? Did they just play game three? They just played game three. I'm tripping. No, or tomorrow. They play game three tomorrow. First game three is tomorrow
Yeah,
at 10
game
a.m.
3 tomorrow
for
for
us.
them.
I think if the Heat can get this win, this is a must win as well, kind of for them. Either
Oh,
this
it
one or
is.
the next one. No, it's a must win. Must
Yeah.
win. Because you go down 3-0.
No, yeah, you're done. You're done.
All right. Well, we need Jaime Jaquez Jr. I need your buddy. I need a 30-point performance. I need Bam Adebayo to have at least
We need
10
Wiggins
rebounds.
to at least Wiggins. Like, bruh, you were supposed to be
Wiggins
the next Kobe, man.
Wiggins was supposed to be the next Kobe. He can pop off. It just does he have the passion? Like, there's a new team for him. Like, does he not the passion, but does he have just like who would you say is a star player in this team?
Tyler Hero, I think.
Tyler Hero. So is he going to be able to help Tyler Hero and like help Bam Adebayo, by getting those buckets, especially those tricky ones? We all know Andrew Wiggins is a great two-way player at his peak. At his prime, he's one of the best two-way players in the league, but recently, man, his form, and I think that's partly why the Warriors traded him. They just noticed his form is just not there. Obviously, everything that happened last year, that's fair. Of course, that's understandable. He couldn't play those games. It is what it is. But man, this year, half the year, I know Warriors got to hot start with Wiggins too, being on it too. But man, like even though looking back, that trade kind of hurts as a Warriors fan myself, as you guys know, I am a Warriors fan, and Val is kind of a Warriors fan. We're Warriors fans at heart, but yeah, he is. So looking back, you know what? Maybe it was a good trade. So we'll see. And then speaking of that, I want to move on to that team, Warriors versus Rockets,
The last
which I
series,
think
our
is our
favorite
final one.
one, our finals one.
What do you think,
Man, well,
Jimmy?
they say that Jimmy Butler that was the best case scenario, but they still don't know if he's gonna be back next game. Man, really sucks. I know injuries are part of the game, but we were doing so good. We won one game. We won game one with him, and then now we lost game two without him. He's such a big part of the team, man, and it sucks. It would suck losing because of an injury, right? Because if you lose, you want to go out on your shield. You want to know at least we tried our best.
Mm-hmm.
But man,
Mm-hmm.
losing to an injury would suck.
No, 100%, 100%. Losing to an injury, it just hurts, man. It hurts just not just you, the team, the organization. Just like, man, what if, right? That's what you start thinking, and it's not even your fault. It's like, what if, like, I did this? What if I did that? What if, you know? And what if it's one of the worst scenarios to be like just feeling, right? One of the worst feelings ever. Because like Kobe Bryant, for example, he Bomber mentality, leave it all on the floor. I'm gonna die on this court. I don't give a damn. I'm dying on this court tonight. That type of shit, right? And like, if you couldn't even have the opportunity to even die on that court, it's just one of the worst feelings.
It
And I think this
stings.
series would be over, to be honest, if Jimmy can't come back by at least game five. If he's out game three, you know
Yeah.
what? Hopefully game four. Out by game five, this series might be over because
Yeah.
the Rockets aren't fucking around. I just want to point out Jalen Green, right? Hopefully I'm not getting his name wrong. Jalen or Jaden? Jalen, right? I would get his
Jalen.
name wrong because of the other guy. My goodness. I was watching the game. He was a beast. He was a flamethrower. He did not care. He was making everything he shot. I don't know what he ended with, but it felt like 70% of the shots he shot went in. And I don't think that's the right statistic, but it feels that way. Just the way. And I'm looking at what he scored. And
37
this is
points or
crazy.
something like that.
38 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists on 35 minutes.
Which everyone was saying the
That's
first game, him and Fred VanVleet had a horrible game, and then this game, he bounced back. So shout out to him.
And you know what? Fred VanVleet, he got 42 minutes, 6 rebounds, 2 points, 2 assists, and 7 points. Not a lot, but you know what? Him being there and, being scared, even if he shot and might have missed, it's, people can't let that man shoot and let him, get hot. And what you saw was that they couldn't control Jalen Green, so they were just trying to focus VanVleet. But man, also, people don't talk about Alperen Şengün. Alperen Şengün, man, that center, 16 rebounds, 7 assists, 17 points, man.
Yeah, best
Such a
player
good
in
player.
the series for the Rockets, in my
I
opinion.
love Draymond, but when he got dunked on by him, I was like, wow, fair play, man. Holy crap, bro. Especially game 1. I think I'm going to stick with what I said in my prediction. I think I said game 5 Warriors, game 6 Warriors.
Yeah, you said
Do
I
you
think
remember
6.
Did you remember what you said? Same?
I think I said 6 also.
It's going to be close, man. It's going to be close. I mean, the Warriors shown they could do it, but it was with Jimmy. So now, if it is game 3 at home in the Chase Center, is Steph going to be able to have one of those performances? I think he can, but man, this series is physical than a motherfucker. I don't know if you guys see how Steph is getting guarded. I know Steph doesn't have the best whistle, but you got to watch these games. If you guys don't watch these games live, he's getting cooked. He's getting just grabbed and all this. And it is a physical game. I think this
Draymond Green
this this
doing the
series
same thing to the other team.
exactly. So it's in all fairness, touche, my friend. So like we'll see what happens, man. This series is very physical. I've heard rumors. People have said that this is the most physical series they've seen so far
It
in
has
this
like a
year, at least.
90s
People say this.
game.
That's what people's 90s. Do you feel
Dude, have
that
you
or
seen
no?
that clip where well, I'm not a nunk, but have you seen that clip where what's his name? Where Draymond
Maybe.
Green stiffs arms what's his name? Dylan Brooks. He's like and then he turns around and he's like, "You see that rap? You see that?" And everybody's like, "See what, bro? Like you pushed it." He's so funny.
It reminds me of
Man.
that clip of LeBron. What did he say? He says something, and then Anthony was, "That's a tag. That's a tag." And you know what? When it was crazy, these guys were teammates last summer, and they're talking like this to each other. You gotta love the playoffs, man. The
Yeah,
storylines are
because LeBron was
insane.
like,
He's
"You're
the
gonna
truth.
call that fucking shit," and Anthony Edwards is like,
Yeah.
"If I would have said that, that would have been a tag." But she's not
That's
wrong.
not a tag. That's not a tag. Hey, bro, we got players like Draymond, him. Like you can't say nothing to the rest because they're gonna take everything personal. Especially having history of having all. Even arguably, you can argue with Dylan Brooks, man. He's gotta be careful because I feel like he's got that reputation, and he's probably gets a lot of tease, man. Low key. And having Dylan Brooks versus Draymond is just cinema, bro. Like if you're a casual, this is the series for you, man. If you're a casual, I think this is the series you want to watch. There's a lot of hate watch parties for the Warriors. I get it. Because you want to BS, but for real, like I understand. So like we'll see, man. This is what I recommend. If anyone told me, hey Josie, yeah, what's up, bro? What series should I watch? Honestly, man, Rockets versus Golden State. Really? Wow, you're really handsome. Yeah, you too, man. Thank you. So I would recommend this series to the casuals and just if whoever wants to watch a physical basketball game. Obviously, you got the legend of Steph in there. You got Jimmy too, which arguably is a legend as well. You can argue,
Yeah.
a legend in his own right. I mean, no chip, but man, those Heat days were insane, bro.
He's
And then
so
what he
good,
did
man.
when the
I fear that
Timberwolves
he's gonna
practice
be a
facility.
forgotten player, man. Hopefully not, though.
Have you seen that clip? I don't know if you guys have seen that clip of Spencer did what he's saying, where he was like, if you're not Allen Iverson, if you're not Kobe Bryant, and if you're not literally Steph, LeBron, or Michael Jordan, they'll forget about you. And man, that hit me right here, man. Where like we know about like people don't talk about T Mac ever. I barely know T Mac. I barely know who Tracy. I barely know these guys, and it's like people aren't gonna remember them unless the unks talk about them. Unless they're like,
Yeah.
dude, 2019 Wiggins was insane. You know what I'm saying? Just as
Because
an example, or
apparently Clyde
2017 Chris
Drexler, I don't know
Paul
if you
was.
heard about him.
I
Clyde
have heard
Drexler.
about him.
So he was supposedly
Mhm.
like he was as almost or I don't know if the Unks are exaggerating, but he was almost as good as like Jordan. He was like he would be Jordan if Jordan didn't exist. And we don't
What the
barely know
heck?
about him, bro, because he got over because he gets overshadowed by all these legends. So Spencer Dinwiddie might be right.
Man, that when he said that take, I was like, because he's like, no one's gonna remember me. I'm just here to play for a little bit. No one's gonna remember me. You'll become a legend in your franchise, especially with those play. And it's not even at the franchise. You'll become a legend for the franchise fans, but for the fans, those fans, that generation. Like for me, I'm not gonna forget Otto Porter Jr., bro. What he did for the Warriors, Otto Porter Jr.
I was
Oh
about to
my
say who?
God, bro. Will Chamberlain. You're gonna say who is crazy. What he did for the 2022 Jordan Poole was a great example, guys. People might forget about the legend of Jordan Poole,
Dante
but when he
DiVincenzo.
shot that shit, Dante DiVincenzo, man, underrated player. You know, I love Dante. He's doing great in the Knicks, right? No, Tim's.
Yeah, he plays for the Timberwolves now.
Tim's. Cannot believe they traded him, bro. They said, "Fuck the power of friendship. It's all about fucking money." I was like,
They
"Damn,
finally
bro."
got the
Literally,
Nova
it's
boys in town, and they're like,
the Nova boys.
you
They're
got
like,
cat.
"Never mind, bro." It's literally like they made a commercial, bro, about this. I'm not fucking with you. There's a
So
commercial
how
of
would you
Dante like
feel
coming into something,
if you, me, and then like three of our other friends, right? We were on a team.
and I got
They
cut.
and then yeah, and then we traded you for a star player, man.
You know what?
Would you feel bad or
If
would you
I'm being
feel
honest, I would.
understandable?
I don't think I'd be mad, bro. I because you know what? I'm kind of a pick me type guy. I'm not gonna lie, like guys. I'm kind of a pick me person. Like I'm gonna be like I'm gonna do my own thing, kind of vibes. I'm about to show these motherfuckers. Maybe I would be a little salty, but honestly though, if they traded me, you know, I'd be like, y'all only won because of me if they win a chip, because I was able to get traded. I had enough trade value to be traded with this other players, right? But I would just go make a name for myself. Maybe I wouldn't want to. It's not that I wouldn't be want to be with my best friends, but maybe you know I just want to go be, you know, flourish on my own. It's not like we're not gonna talk. It's
That's
not like those
true.
Nova boys
That's
aren't in
true.
a freaking group chat right now. They
Yeah.
literally have a group chat.
That's true. You could be a little salty, but still use it as motivation to flame you. You know what I mean?
Mhm. How would you feel? I'm actually curious.
Same thing. I
Be
feel like
honest.
I would be. I'm not gonna lie. I would be like, damn, like that. Especially if I found out that I talked to you guys about it and you guys accepted, like, yeah, go get
They talked to
Carlton
them
Towns, my
about it.
boy. I'm not sure, but if they did,
Oh
and
yeah,
if I found out, like, oh, they talked to them and like, oh yeah, they talked to
we don't tell
Josie
you.
and they talked to Josie and the boys, and they were like, yeah, like trade him, like we'll get cat. I would be like, damn, like that. I would low-key not even want to be in the group
Like
chat no more. But
dang, it's like we said like an example is like let's trade him for you know my friend from my school like that.
oh right, yeah,
Because let's say he's good. How would you feel?
I would be like, man, they did me dirty. I would feel salty, but I think eventually I would be like, you know what? I get it. Like you said, as motivation. But at first, I would
Use
be
their
salty. Not gonna lie.
motivation. Because we're not good enough to get traded, bro. You are. Think about it. We're out here like fucking,
Trying to
fucking.
gaslight
What's the
me.
word? Yeah, you're trying to gaslight us. Yeah, you're better than us.
Well, now
Anyways,
let's
man.
get into the main topic of the
We're done with.
pod. Um,
Jeez, it's been a while, but let's do it.
let's get into the main topic. It's let me see. Right here, we're going to be, and right now they can't see you, Josie. They can't see either of us. But so we're just gonna have to be
Okay,
talking.
it's all good. It's all good.
I forgot. You cannot even see my screen. Um,
Let me see. Maybe I will.
let me see if I can.
I don't have to see it. I can just tell you, man. I can
Yeah.
write it down here. Trust me.
Okay, you can write it down. Okay. So you go first, and I'll go second. There's a couple of categories here. We're gonna start with mentality, and remember, just people that are in the playoffs right now. Um,
Mhm.
who do you choose for mentality?
I'm gonna steal this player, and I know you have him in your brain, but I'm gonna take Giannis Antetokounmpo. I think his
Mm,
mentality right now of you know the other day what he said, I know what I got to do. I think he's here for the right reasons. I think for the couple years ago where he said, you know, of like this steps to success, not failure. I think that in itself speaks volumes to what he's. You know, I think mentally he's one of the most mentally strong players in the league. So I'm gonna take him.
All right.
That was for mentality, right?
That was for mentality. Yeah.
Good pick.
So I sent you the picture on the phone on your phone.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
gotcha. Thank you, bro.
For passing, so passing is next. Let's see in the playoffs, man. We have a lot of good options out here. Cade Cunningham's a good passer. Steph's a good
Oh, that's a
passer.
good one. I know who I'm gonna say.
For passing,
Better
man,
not steal him.
I'll take Jokic. I think
Wait,
he is
did not see that coming. I'm not gonna lie.
one of the best passers in the league, if not the one like the best playmaker. Um,
In the postseason right now.
yeah, in the postseason. Yeah. To get that straight in the postseason, man. Maybe I should have taken LeBron, but I think there's something else I want to take him for. Josie, who do you take for height, my boy?
Height. Height is a hard one, man. Height is a hard one. For me, I would say because we're building this together, right?
Yeah, we're building it together.
Or no? Okay. Who's height should I take? Well, let me actually look at some of the players. I know what I'm thinking of. Too tall, man. I want someone. I want like you know what? I want to use him for something else, but I like his height. So let me find someone else that's as tall as this player. Hold on, give me 30 seconds, boys.
Yeah, no problem. While you
I
look
want
that
someone
up,
that's 6'8".
someone that's 6'8".
Should we
Yeah, while
just
you
say
look,
height? 6'8". So would this height also be like body, or is height more mostly just height?
um,
This is also body. I'm
right,
assuming it's
yeah,
body
yeah.
as well.
Also body type, yeah.
That just I'm a Jason Tatum. I want Jason Tatum's body type, 6'8", 210, strong. I think his body's good for he's a perfect physique in my opinion for a little bit of everything. Defense.
All right, Tatum. So far we have the mentality of Giannis, we have the passing of
Oh,
Jokic, and the height of Jason Tatum. That's insane right there, man. Shooting, I got an easy one, man. I'm taking Stephen Curry, the best
Bron.
shooter of all time. You can't go with anybody else
Not LeBron?
for shooting. Nah, my boy.
Bro, LeBron has been shooting that rock like nothing. He goes, bro, he's been shooting the shit out of that. He's hitting 47%.
I don't care,
I'm
bro. I don't
fucking
care.
with you.
I
I'm
don't care
just
if
kidding.
Curry's shooting 0%, bro. I'm taking him any day of the week.
You got one shot to save the universe and you gotta hit it. Who are you taking?
Iguodala.
Oh. All right, Steph Curry it is. Obviously, that's the right answer, of
Steph
course.
Curry, it is, my boy. Who are you taking for handles?
Should I destroy us and say Draymond Green?
Nah, that would be me. Bro.
No, handles. I wanted to save him, but I like this player for handles. And tell me what you think. I want to take James for handles.
Hmm.
Harden. I don't know how you feel about that.
You know what? I think that's
Because
good, man. He's that little, the little hessy he has, the in
the
between
little,
legs.
the,
But
the,
you have to consider. I mean, yeah,
Mm,
actually, you know what? That would be a good pick. Especially, yeah, you're right. We're only doing playoffs, and he is doing amazing right now. He's like back in his prime, low key.
low key second prime. Maybe second wind is a real thing because she.
All right, so we'll take James Harden then. For strength, which is the next category. Um,
This is interesting.
man, you know what? For strength,
It's gonna be
they're
tricky.
barely in the playoffs right now, but I'm taking Steven Adams, my boy.
Oh,
Steven
bro,
Adams.
nobody's getting through our player.
I know we have the best player of all time.
That's
I
freaking
feel like I'm
hilarious.
getting
All
all the
right,
easy ones. Here's another hard one for you. Who are you taking for
this
defense?
one's hard. Defense, man. This is a tricky one. Is it based on who's doing good in the postseason or just who in general, like all time defense for the player?
Like right now, how they're playing right now.
You know, Steph, I mean, Draymond's got 3.0 steals, uh, you know what? Defense. You know what? Defense. Because I have a couple stats right here, right?
Mhm.
That I like seeing, and I know these are just just numbers. So at the end of the day, it's more just the eye test, and just also like who was able to bring more turnovers per possession, help with that. And honestly, is it weird to say? I don't know how. You know what? Our player's 6'8". Let's play with a little bit of aggression. We're gonna play more in the foul trouble range. Let's go with Draymond.
Okay, Draymond
I
Green.
want to say Malik Beasley, right? That's his name. I get his name wrong all the time.
Oh yeah, it is Malik.
I was gonna say Malik, but I haven't really got time to. You know what? Let's go with Malik. Let's go with
Oh
Malik Beasley.
really? You wanna switch it up?
Let's go with Malik. Let's switch it up. Let's go with Malik. I love Draymond, but too many fouls. I feel like we'll get to too many foul trouble. I feel like. So look at Malik.
That's true. That's a good point.
Especially in the playoffs, we don't want to be out. Especially at the end. We need to be in the game as much as possible. And Draymond's defense, let's just say it's a little bit unorthodox. That's all I want to say. A little, a little
It is.
different, a little
He's a little bit
swinging.
more boxing type.
Draymond, we love you, bro. Please don't kill us.
For clutch player, I'm gonna
Like
say,
clutch.
man, there's a lot of clutch players, but right now,
I
man,
have one.
I have one in mind too. Let me know if you're thinking of the same
Ooh.
guy. He just won Clutch Player of the Year. My boy, Jalen Brunson. And all these games have been close, and he's been stepping up. So I think that's where we go, Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson's been popping off, man. That fourth quarter, same. Jalen Brunson. I was actually thinking, and let me know what you think. This was my second option. Shea Gilgeous, man. I feel like he's also been a little bit clutch. I don't know how clutch. I haven't been watching, to be honest, those OKC games, but I mean, coming back, really impressive. So maybe that.
But yeah, that's true.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, boys. It might be over for them, but we'll see.
100%. So now,
What's the next
Josie, the next one, athleticism. I was thinking Giannis, but he's out of here already. And just to give you a little refresher, Giannis is out of the picture. Tatum, Jokic, Steph, Harden, Steven Adams, Malik Beasley, and Brunson. So who are you taking for athleticism?
Can you hear me, by the way?
Yeah,
We're good? Because you sound a little staticky. I don't know if it's just me.
Or maybe because I'm switching in between. My bad.
Yes, that's probably why. I just heard myself. So you said those guys. So athleticism. I think this is underrated. I'm gonna say Paolo Banchero. I want to say his athleticism, man. He's got really nice bounce, really nice movements. I think he'd do a lot of. He's just very athletic. I think I would say Paolo.
Yeah, he's athletic, but I'm surprised, man. Honestly, I thought you were gonna go with like Anthony Edwards or maybe even LeBron
That's
James.
True.
But you know what, Paulo, he is not a bad answer.
I want to say Paulo.
Now we have footwork like Paulo here. Man, footwork. I wish
you could say
Joel Embiid was
say.
In the... Oh, sorry.
You could say that. You could say Anthony, but I don't know how much you like about his footwork.
I don't know. It's all right.
Who do you like?
Footwork. This is a tough one. There's a lot of good players with really good footwork out there. That really nice footwork. But I'm trying to think if I want someone that has really good footwork, like in the post or in the perimeter. You know what? I'll go with Kawhi Leonard. I think he has good everywhere, good footwork. I don't know if you've seen those shots that he's been taking, just like jab stepping and jumps over.
No, yes, dude. He's been playing amazing. Just
the last one, speed.
Ooh, you want speed? I think you're not gonna see what I'm gonna say coming. And I have him in my brain. Do you have a player that you think I'm gonna say? Guess in the comments, boys, before I say it. If you're still watching, guess. So 3, 2, 1. The fastest player. No, I'm just kidding. I just think he's really quick feet. I want to say Jalen Green, honestly. I think he's really fast. Young. I notice he's fast as hell on the fast breaks. Oh my goodness, this man, insanely fast. So that's who I think we built. Who did we get?
Yeah. So before I take it out of the screen, so you guys can take a look at it, I'm just gonna do a little recap. And Josie, I sent you a picture. Mentality,
Yes.
we have Giannis. Height, we have Jason Tatum, a good 6'8", and Giannis, as you know, is always like the mentality he had even in the post game. He knows what he has to do.
Wow, no
Passing,
LeBron.
Nikola Jokic, that's insane. That's a good point. We didn't even have LeBron on here, man. I feel a little bad, but he is 40 years old now. Maybe we could have had him for
Yeah.
passing, right?
Or even like maybe even for strength, but he's I don't know.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
Steven Adams though. Steven Adams though.
yeah, he's hella buff, man. But yeah, I mean, these are this you guys can see on the screen. This is our player.
Mhm.
Let us know if you think this is the best player of all time. Probably is.
Low key,
'Cause this guy beat
especially in the
LeBron.
postseason.
Imagine, bro. Look, imagine this.
Mm.
He can go down. He can pass like Jokic. He has athleticism of Paulo Banchero, and he can shoot like Steph,
Like Steph with the James Harden handles.
and the height of Tatum.
Oh
That would be a
fuck!
demigod, man.
Jesus, the clutch and the clutch gene. Dude, if this player was real, that would be insane. And his name was LeBron James. Dun dun dun. Is that?
If this player was real, and then LeBron pops up, he is real. Nah, I don't want to
We
glaze
thought
over
this.
too
We
much.
thought this player would never Le Glaze. We're not even Le Glazers here. We're supposed to be Le Steffers, Le
I
Steph
know,
Glazers.
but LeBron has grown on us.
Low key, man. Low key. Hey guys, just want to tell you guys now, man. Go enjoy LeBron, man. Go enjoy what he's doing right now because I didn't enjoy Cristiano Ronaldo when he was, I enjoyed him when he was Manchester United last year, last year and a half, but didn't really appreciate him in Juventus. Didn't really watch him in Madrid, but man, you see these players, man. LeBron, he's in the Lakers. This might be his final team he'll be at. He probably will be where
Yeah,
he's gonna retire unless he
yeah.
goes back home to Cleveland. Oh, Cleveland
This is.
for you. Or
I'm just a
this for
kid
you.
from Akron, Ohio. I'm not even supposed to be here, man.
You know what a player from Liverpool said when he won the championship? He's all like, "I'm just a lad from Liverpool. I'm not even supposed to be here."
For real?
Yeah, he said that.
I
He's like,
wonder if
"I'm
he was
just
a
a lad
LeBron
from
fan.
Liverpool." I think he is because LeBron is part ownership of Liverpool. Right there, there they are.
Oh, I thought he had a
So
part ownership in Manchester United.
no, it's Liverpool. At
Liverpool.
Liverpool.
So why
That's
was
why I
he
like
meeting
him.
with what's his name with Rashford? Remember that one podcast?
I think it's just because like he's got aura, bro. He can just
That's the
get
one.
whoever he
That was
wants
my
on his
favorite quote. That
podcast.
was my favorite quote right there.
I love how Rashford's gonna be known because of that shit in like the American
In the
society.
America, yeah.
Even
He
though
makes
he's
some
super
ridiculous
famous in
players.
Europe, but in American society, he's like, you were that guy that LeBron capped on you for what you said. Yeah,
That's my favorite
yeah,
quote
yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
yeah. That's my favorite scene. We gotta do a top 5 list of the funniest caps that LeBron has ever
Hey,
done. Cause
that's a short.
goddamn, bro,
That's
like,
a short idea right there. We can do blindly ranking LeBron's funniest quotes of all time
5 funniest
or
quotes of all
moments.
time. Moments, bro. The book reading, him doing his hair, even though there's nothing there. That was fucking amazing, bro. That was
But
he's just
man,
talking to them.
I know, man. LeBron's funny like that, man. Or, yeah, like you mentioned, even the book one, he's not even reading. Like, what's your favorite part of the book? Oh, there's a lot of good parts in this book. I don't even know how to pick one. A lot of good areas of the book from beginning to end.
They asked him like a deep question about Malcolm X or something in the book. He was like, "Man, I don't know." I just started reading it. I
Oh, I did.
can't remember LeBron is dude.
I just started today.
I wonder what the fuck does LeBron think he is, bro. Sometimes, bro. He's just having fun, bro. I
He low-key
guess.
can get away with it though, cause he's LeBron.
Dude, I know. Dude, I'm gonna be so sad whenever the like Hall of Famer LeBron James and he just appears at a game on the side with his daughter and just watching like
I
Bronny play or something.
That would be
Anyways, let's
sad,
not end on
man.
a sad note. Let's not end on a sad note, boys.
Yeah, I mean, if that's all we have to say, then we just went over we recapped all the games so far, and we built our perfect NBA player. I know we did it kind of fast, but we're having some technical difficulties. Um, but yeah, we appreciate you guys watching. Subscribe and like if you made it this far, and let us know any topics that you want us to cover down in the comments below, and we will see you guys next time.